Scorpio 12, an embassy ball. At an embassy ball, important people are dressed in their very best, and they're behaving in the way that is absolutely the way to behave. This is the exemplar of the highest in society. What's going on here? Important people showing off on the face of it. And yet, what happens at these occasions is that these people who are the powerful, the influential, very often the rich, those in high positions of government, they're talking to each other in a way where there's more going on in the conversation than it seems. A lot of political decisions are made informally in these kind of situations, which are less recorded. They're more nuanced. One gets a feeling for what might work before putting an official proposal forward. So some of these conversations are playful, just floating an idea just to see whether there's anything that bites. Some of them are threatening. And at these gatherings, we're talking about high-level diplomacy. These gatherings, the diplomats are making subtle threats to each other. Now, this is called saber rattling. It's what happened in the olden days when sabers were used to fight wars. You'd rattle them, and that would scare the enemy. Saber rattling is meant to show off your strength, to disincline a potential enemy from attacking you. And at embassy balls, the sabers are replaced by words. Diplomats make subtle, very, very courteous threats to their enemies at the embassy ball. And they make the point that if you do that to us, we could do that to you. You don't want that, do you? A less gentle and courteous version of this would be North Korea doing its nuclear tests, missile launches and so on, preparing for the possibility of being able to launch an attack against its enemies. Another would be the 1st of May demonstrations in the Soviet times, when the arsenal of the Soviet Empire was shown to the world. Now these actions, these saber-rattling behaviors, are actually in support of peace. They disincline aggressors because they're frightened by the power of their potential enemy. So, in a sense, the embassy ball is a subtle version of showing off how strong you are. Now, taking this away from the national level into the personal, how does this apply to me if I've got my sun there or my moon there or any of the planets? What does this Sabian symbol mean for me personally? Well, a lot of spiritual teachings have us try to love the neighbour and to support kindness and forgiveness and love. And these ideas are perfectly valid ideas in context. But there's another context too, and that is that if you actually present a position of strength, then you will not be attacked so readily. And I see that as a spiritual principle too. So if your sun or your moon is there and maybe things happen, people have a go at you and they treat you a bit like a doormat and walk all over you or something, it's because you're not being sufficiently threatening. You have to let people know that if they have a go at you, there will be comeback of some kind. I realise how unpopular this opinion is, that we're supposed to turn the other cheek and so on, but this is really only true for Christians. That is not the way that quite a lot of other religions see things. I think there's a realistic side to our spiritual path, which is basically you have to be strong first. then you can be gentle and kind and forgiving, but you have to be strong first. And that here in the embassy ball sort of image of Sabian symbols, we're saying, show your strength, show off your strength. Wag the finger at people as a warning. No, if you do this, there will be consequences.